the 7 that remain. And they're off and racing. Boughey not the best away again on the inside, just doing enough to hold the spot as Bourbon Blues is the first one to show to any advantage. Tail Gunner Joe, Boughey just moving forward, Publish given more time, and Midnight Tango just slightly taken off her feet early on. So as they steady down, racing towards the bend, Bourbon Blues leads Tail Gunner Joe, Boughey slotted in on the running rail in third. Right the way back goes Publish as Midnight Tango, now amongst them, has rather taken off into 5th place and is very keen on their heels. Publish dropped right out at the back. Bourbon Blues leads by a length or so. Tail Gunner Joe, Boughey on the inside in third. Midnight Tango moving up on the inside of Glacius, and the last two are U.S.A and Publish last of all as Bourbon Blues now just drops anchor around the turn and the field bunch up. So making the turn back towards home, just moving slightly off the running rail. Bourbon Blues gives chance to track on either side. Tail Gunner Joe, Boughey in third place. In 4th place there with the chevron is Glacius. Behind those Midnight Tango settle a little better now, and U.S.A and Publish just angled out now at the back of the field with the pink cap. So Tail Gunner Joe moving to Bourbon Blues. The two market principals are on either flank here. Boughey on the right-hand side, Publish on the left, and just having to be ridden at this stage. Then behind these Midnight Tango. Boughey it is, moving through the gears at the moment, who has the lead. Midnight Tango to the right-hand side with Bourbon Blues. Publish is beginning now to find this big stride. Boughey with Publish, now looking a threat on the outside, then Midnight Tango, and Publish now really beginning to devour the ground. Edge is left-handed, Boughey digs in as a result. Publish knocked out, and in the lead, Boughey on the line. The barging match, the little horse out-muscled the big one. Publish in second, U.S.A in third, and Glacius in fourth. Publish coming to win, lugged left-handed, bumped Boughey, and it was Publish who was knocked off stride by that incident. And the far smaller Boughey it is who emerges unbeaten and wins by about a length or so. The head-on will be quite interesting to see exactly how much momentum Publish did seem to lose there, because I'm looking down on them from above. Did he lug left-handed when he came to challenge, or did Boughey pull out a little bit more? Either way, it's Boughey who has won. Publish's connections may feel they would want a rematch. The head-on, Publish on the outside, Boughey, they're miles apart at this stage, so who is it that comes over? No doubt that Publish actually lost out in what went on, but was he dying on his run anyway? Here's Publish beginning to go that way. And they just marginally bump, and Publish heads back the other way. Maybe he was dying on his run. Boughey comes out on top, Publish in second. What do you make of that?
Well, Publish would have traded very short at one point in the race, but Boughey found more. Betfair, the sponsors today, go 12-1 for the Guineas next year. It might not be much to look at, as you said, Leon. He's got an engine.
Yeah, absolutely he has. And at this point, I think you felt like you were there to be shot at, and Publish was coming when he did. And yet he got there, and this horse was having none of it. And Boughey's come back at him. Obviously, we saw the head on. And to be fair to Publish, you know, had the result been the other way round and it had been close, you know, there'd have been a bit of trouble, because Publish has gone to Boughey, and you know it's not quite shoved him over, but a little. Also interesting that they've chosen to sit stone dead last on Publish when he was ridden so positively and forward last time at Sandown, which seemed to suit him, but presumably trying to get him to stay the trip, which he has. He's probably just bumped into a very good one who's come back at him.
At that moment on the far side, Publish hit 1.11, so nearly 10 on in running.
And then he probably did just die a little bit on his run, like Richard said, because he had to make up a lot of ground. But I like the way that Boughey, as soon as he drew up sides him, just went, whoop, I'm off again. He's obviously not particularly big, but he's got a serious engine. We can find out more about that with his jockey.
Yes, it'll be very interesting to hear what Billy says about this performance, both in the way he travelled and he got to the front, and also how he responded, Billy.
Yeah, we didn't actually go that mad a gallop. He managed to find a nice slot behind the leaders, and there was nothing taking me into the race. I had to commit when I did. It's the first ever time in his life he's been off the bridle, so I was expecting him to run a bit green, but he was getting the message the last half a furlong, and he's not even blowing, so it was a real nice performance.
So when Publish comes at you, he's quite a big horse, bigger than Boughey. What went through your mind? Did you think maybe you'd be in trouble?
Probably for a split second, but once he realised that he was ahead of him and he had to chase him down, I always knew I was going to win the last half a furlong.
How good is this horse?
He's smart. Obviously, he couldn't have done anything better in his last two runs. Some bigger options await for him now.
Just have a word with Jordan coming back in. Good Jordan, I saw the celebrations. Look at the smile on Jordan's face. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, it's got to be, isn't it?
Tell me about this horse.
I ride it every day. He's a big part of the team, isn't he?
What sort of level do you think he could go for?
I'll be up to the boss on top of it.
Well, we'll leave it to them. Well done.
And those entries include the Champagne next weekend at Doncaster, which is highly unlikely. But after that, he's in the Champion Juvenile at Leopardstown and the Beresford Stakes in Ireland as well. The options for the George Boughey team, who unleashed another nice 2-year-old yesterday, El Vamos. Won easily, hard held. So a couple of exciting prospects for George Boughey and Billy Loughnane, who won with Bo Echo. Very well backed in the last 24 hours or so. Went off odds on at 5 to 6. Published second at 11 to 4. Cheyenne finished in third at 10.